we go. True bombs, mind growth. Put a pin on the questions. Watch the cover zone shake. Every take like a landmine. Step close, watch it awake. Hot takes on the table. Thick skin.
What's up? What's up? This is your boy Cope. It's a great day to talk about it. So hey, let's talk about it. And today I want to talk about the statistics of organized groups and social clubs and things of that nature, and why sometimes it seems like they are ineffective. One of the big things I believe that haunts the black community is a lack of commitment, dedication, whether it be time, whether it be finances, or whether it be effort. It is extremely difficult to get black people together for a sustained movement. We'll come together and make some noise, but as far as hanging around and being consistent at it, we got a problem with being consistent. And for whatever reason, we just have a problem with being consistent. And so, I believe that sometimes we're our own enemy as it relates to trying to get more momentum, to establish change, and to redesign culture. We lack commitment. So I don't know what it is, and especially I believe it's even more difficult with black men. Black men, because of their ego, it's even more difficult to get black men to commit to something on a sustained level. It has to really be a really put together unit or organization for black men to consistently show up and be contributor. And I think sometimes we do ourselves a great injustice because we just won't be committed. We just kind of like, we fly by night when we feel like it, if we will. And I'm one of those people that I believe that if you're going to do something, go ahead and fully commit. When I look at different things like social clubs, fraternities, and different things of that nature, this is my rule of thumb. I can tell how vested you are by how much money you've spent representing that organization. If everything that you have from the organization has been given to you and didn't cost you anything, then yeah, you may look like you're committed, but I believe that a person's commitment is shown by them actually investing resources that honor, reflect, or advertise that union. If you're in a group, whether it be fraternity, social club, whatever it is, and you haven't taken any of your personal money and bought anything that represents that brand or that group, then I question if you're really involved. I mean, you may be going along for the ride, but I question if you're really involved because it hasn't cost you anything. And I don't know what it is, but it's like, if you look at people that say they're really involved and invested in something, then they should have something that says, I am a part of this and I'm proud of it. And this is where I believe the investment comes into play. Our brotherhood, I can't even tell you the amount of money that I've spent in it because I'm fully vested. Not just because I'm the president and the founder, but because I'm fully invested. Anything that I do, I'm going to be fully invested in it. And I'm going to stay fully invested in it until I start seeing things are going another way. And then we're going to have a conversation about it. And if we can rebound from that, then great. Then if we can't, I'm going to get out of the way because I don't know how to do halfway. I know how to do all the way, but I don't know how to do half the way. And that's what I believe that a lot of people, they have not gotten to the place where they're willing to be all the way invested into a thing. So they handle it with a level of convenience instead of a level of priority. I believe that whatever social or fraternal organization that you're part of, I believe that your commitment shouldn't be convenient, but it should be a commitment that you're committing to. It should be an intentional commitment. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't believe that it should be something that if I get time, it should be when I make time. This is how you know how you really invested, how you really in commitment. Because sometimes we'll commit to things that we're really not committed to. Let me say that again. Sometimes we'll commit to things that we're really not committed to. And what do I mean by that? I mean that we'll try to commit because it sounds good, but we're really not committed in our efforts, in our times. and our talent, are we really committed? Have we really given of ourselves to something? This is what I believe you got to take a look at, because this is what I believe. I believe that there are a lot of structured clubs that appear to be ineffective simply because of the participation of the people that say they are committed. When you look at that from a statistical standpoint, it begins to jump out even more. Let's take a look at some of the statistics. Whenever you have a group that has an accountability standard and has accountability, listen, 80%, 87% of people remain in groups that have some form of accountability. That means everybody in the group is willing to call each other to the line about their lack of participation or their lack of effort. When they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing. They're doing things that are detrimental to themselves first and foremost, and then to the group, people will call them out. When you have something with that level of structure, 87% of people remain. When you don't have that accountability and factor, when everybody just kind of willy-nilly does what they want to do, when they want to do it, and everything under the guise of that name or that fellowship, that brotherhood or that sisterhood, whatever it is, when everybody just can do whatever they want to do, only 19% remain. 19%. That means 19% of people say, yep, I'm still willing to be committed when there's nothing that holds me accountable. That in itself should be a message. That wherever there's no accountability, people don't even want nothing to do with it. People want to be held accountable. Why? Because there's this subliminal and subconscious message that we understand that wherever there is accountability, there is the potential for our best to be made manifest. But there has to be some accountability. Get this. 8% of people that are in these circles are actually actively involved. 8%. Less than 10% of people in any circle, any group, in any social club, less than 10% are actually active. Now I want you to think about that, because I don't know what the mission of your group is, but when you think about the mission of it, think about this. Only 8% of those that have heard the mission, sat in the meetings, only 8% of those are actively involved. You know, that's a tough sell when you think about having people trying to be effective. Only 8% are available. You talking about 10 people? Less than one are going to be able to be accounted on to participate. That's a sad statistic. 1% are highly active. That means that when it's time to put the rubber to the road, when it's time to get results, when it's time to bear your head down and get to it, less than one person is going to be all gung-ho. Think about that. You get 10, less than one going to be ready to get to it. Less than one. We're talking about being effective. And when it comes time to get to it, less than one person is really ready to put the hard hat on and get to work. That's sad. 90%, get this, out of 10 people, 9 of them, 90% are lurkers. That means 90% are just standing around watching the traffic, just seeing what's going to happen, seeing who's going to do what, seeing who's going to step into play, just kind of just observers. 90%. That means whatever your mission, your outlook is, out of every 10 people, 9 of them just chilling, taking in the breeze, sipping the soda, wearing the apparel, idle, not even participating, not even contributing, just showing up to look. 9% of them contribute occasionally. 9%. 9% say, I guess I can. I ain't got nothing else going on. I guess I can. I ain't got enough to do. I guess I can. 9%. 9% give. They're giving. Whether it be their time, their efforts, their willingness to serve, whatever it is, 9% of them are, hey, let's get to it. Still less than 10%. So when you start talking about groups that are effective, you got to think about these statistics. You got to think about the number of people that are really on the mission, that are committed with the time, their resources, their hands, financially. You got to look at those numbers. And guess what? We got to do better. I believe, again, we got to do better. When we say that we're committed to something, we say we're giving of ourselves. Listen, when you join an establishment, when you join an establishment, see, these are things you should be thinking about before you join, because if you're really not able to be committed, I don't care how much you might like it, but if you really can't be committed, then maybe that's not something that you should do at this time. Because guess what? It's a bad reflection on yourself. This is how sometimes people expose themselves, because they just overcommit to things. You got to be willing to be serious about things. Listen, you got to start taking things more seriously. To all my social clubs and fraternities out there listening, Godspeed, guys. I hope you stay at it, stay the course, and I hope people start really getting serious about those things that they've committed to. Because I'm telling you, the reward is in your commitment, not just in your observation. Let's get serious. Let's get to it. The things that we are a part, let's really get serious about helping it make impact. Because that's what it is. You got so many talents and different things like that about yourself that nobody never knew about it. Because you won't get serious about you, and you won't get serious about your commitment. Let's clean things up, people. Let's start being more effective. Black men, get involved. Get out of your ego. Matter of fact, I say it this way. You ain't too important. Get over yourself. You ain't that big of a deal. Get over yourself. I said it to myself. You ain't that big of a deal. Get over yourself. Because when you get over yourself, guess what happens? You're going to get a part of a mission, and you're going to make impact. Let's take these things more serious, guys. Let's stop having these names of these clubs and everything, and we don't do anything other than wear the shirts, the jerseys, the hats, whatever, and we never do anything effective. Let's get on business, folks. Lock in. Load up, lock in. This your boy Cope. Out.
Beef and bullets, here we go. Truth bombs, mind growth. Put a pin on the questions. Watch the comfort zone shake. Every take like a landmine. Step close, watch it awake. Hot takes on the table.